Lately, a lot of Canadians have been seeing ads with your face in them saying you personally guarantee people can earn $35,000 a month using something called the Quantum AI platform. Some folks are calling it a scam. Others say they've made even more than that. So who should we believe?
First off, don't trust random links floating around the internet. The only official link is right below this video. That's the one I personally stand behind. This initiative is supported by the Government of Canada and the Federal Cabinet. Both the Bank of Canada and the Royal Bank of Canada were involved in developing this trading platform, and they stand behind it to ensure that Canadians who join actually see real, consistent earnings. Over 1,000 Canadians have already made more than $35,000 in just 1 month using it. Everything's transparent and all the numbers check out.
So you're saying any Canadian can sign up and earn that kind of money, no exceptions?
Exactly.
Registration is open until the end of the day, and any Canadian says this is the is enabled to share.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is George and this is my channel. The journey is real. I'm in the river valley, believe it or not, I'm in the city. And you see me walking through the bush. You're going to be wondering, like, what the hell? You know, this is Edmonton's River Valley. And we're going to come down to the river here in a sec. And I don't know if the trail goes any further, but it doesn't have to. Because really, I can tell you everything that I wanted to talk about right here. But first what I want to do is I share the view that I have from here because it's super quiet here. See, right across the river from me, that is downtown Edmonton with all its high-rises and towers and stuff. And if you think it looks a little bit hazy there today, there's wildfire smoke in the air. And it's not good, but that's what we live with in the summer. I mean, summer is basically almost over, but the fire season is not. What does it mean the journey is real? To me, it means that what I perceive with my own 5 senses, to me, that's the journey. That's what is real. In recent years, it's so much more. There's so much alternate reality. We can go online and we can basically find anything we want. And if there's something we already have an idea about in our minds, it might be a theory that we came up with or that somebody else came up with and it kind of resonates with us. Well, if we go online, we will find confirmation. So whatever side you're leaning toward or whatever your previous experience was, well, you can find something online that confirms everything that you already suspected, whether this was accurate or not, or whether it was based in some real experiences or some reality, or somebody made it up either in order to manipulate others, or what other reasons would somebody have to make something up other than manipulation? There'll be people who make up something that is better than what they're experiencing in their lives, and they make it seem like, well, it's just around the corner, and if you only do this and that, then you're going to be right there. And sometimes they make it look like they already achieved all this, whether it's true or not. They can be very, very convincing, let me put it that way, and make you believe something that's perhaps so far from reality or from your own reality that it is just fake. The journey is real. That is the name of my channel. And when I talk about this kind of journey, what I mean, that's your personal journey, my journey. We can share about, boy, lots of speeding going on in this city. We can share about our journeys, whatever comes, whatever we experience in our lives, we can share it. And YouTube is a great means of doing that. However, there's stuff being shared that is far from reality. But it is today easier than it's ever been to make fake content look so real that you and I are very prone to believing it. So part of what I wanted to get at is actually, how do you protect yourself, your mind, from falling for these fake things, you know, the fake content? If you've been online for a while,
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Consuming content, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, it is pretty easy for you probably to distinguish between AI generated content or human generated content. For example, like, would you think that I am fake? I am made up by a computer? I'm AI? Well, maybe I'm not perfect enough for that. But that's the thing, Today, you can still make that distinction. If something just looks too perfect, see, my skin isn't perfectly smooth, and I don't talk really smooth, even though I could generate something with my own voice today that would sound just like me, and it would be AI generated. But in general, you can still tell AI generated content just by consuming content on a regular basis. You will develop a feel for that. However, AI is getting so much better that it's probably only months away that there'll be content online that was generated by computers, is as imperfect as this, me talking to you, and it'll be generated entirely by a machine. And now this machine could be telling you just about anything, and you would see it with your own eyes, or you would feel like you've seen it with your own eyes, because usually when you see something on the screen and it looks convincing, you consider it real, don't you? I often do, I have to admit. I also have to say that for the future, that's something probably we all have to unlearn. We have to see everything with lots of skepticism, whether it looks real or it doesn't, because AI is getting so good it can fool just about any human. AI can generate an entire website that would take a human days to create, even with prepared content. It could do it in seconds. Now, there's nothing wrong using this as a tool, as we're probably all going to have to learn, like it was when we came up with automated assembly lines and stuff. Jobs went sideways, jobs became obsolete. Well, now it is actually creative jobs that may be at risk. But then the question pops up, how much can AI generated content really come close to something human generated? And that's what worries me, guys. Today you can tell who's authentic on YouTube, and you can tell what is AI generated. You know when there's even a documentary style video where somebody is just talking about automobiles or engines or politics, whatever it may be, the war. There's so many things that you can already see that there are channels that present entirely AI generated content, and there is a box to check when you publish this on YouTube. Quite honestly, I don't know how much YouTube is actually on top of that, if they can actually tell when something is AI generated. And I'll give you an example. Now, there are commercials right now on YouTube where you will see the Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney, talk about some program that if you are in Canada and you are fed up with everything getting more expensive and your pay being stagnant, well, now we have this program for you. Like, I gotta be honest with you, I have never watched this whole commercial because it just turns me off so bad. I believe that is entirely fake, and I believe that is generated somewhere, definitely outside of Canada, because I don't think it's legal to create content that shows the face of our Prime Minister putting words into his mouth, promoting somebody's product. But it's been done before. I've seen videos with Kevin O'Leary the same way. And sometimes the picture is blurry, and when you look at it very closely, you can tell that the way they move isn't quite natural. The way they speak, it's definitely their voice, but it's not quite natural. But, for someone who is not used to seeing a lot of content on YouTube, and the first thing they see is this ad, well, I don't blame anybody to take this at face value. What are we going to do about this, guys? Please leave me your comments. You have experience with that. Have you ever fallen for a scam based on some piece of content that was AI generated, but it looked so good that you just couldn't doubt it? I mean, you see a personality that you're familiar with, speaking in their voice, talking about something that you've heard them talk about on news clips and things like that, but now it is to promote something, and it turns out later that they never even said anything like that. It's just generated by somebody in order to manipulate you. It gets worse. This is only one thing that's been happening, and I talk about this because I've come across it so many times myself, and I don't like it. But what's even worse are all the fake news channels that we have on YouTube. There are things that, Russia is collapsing. President Trump has dementia, which, well, definitely there might be some truth to that. And in my heart, I kind of hope that they're getting rid of him sooner rather than later. And if it's dementia, I don't care, let him have dementia and get somebody else into that office. But now there's stuff about the Epstein files, like this piece that Trump signed with an outline of a woman. Is it real? Is it not? I believe it is real, but I have no evidence supporting either side, whether it's real or it's not real. See what I mean? I have to make up my mind based on other information that I gathered. So if it turns out it's not real, well, I wouldn't be too surprised, because somebody definitely has something to gain by making sure that this information gets out in the public, whether it's real or not. It's manipulative, like if you hate Trump just a little bit, well, the fact that he might be a pedophile, that just puts you over the edge, maybe, You could tolerate him up to this point, but now even the MAGA people are turning against him. And I really hope that, the research that they did about that, it's all solid and stuff. But at the same time, if it's not, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you could make this up so easily. And now there are lawsuits in there, and the same way, people who really want to support Trump with all their might, they could probably find evidence to the contrary, so that it's all been made up and Trump never had anything to do, or he was, like some sources are claiming now, he was an informant when it came to getting to Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. I can't even find the word. It sounds ridiculous to me, but who am I to say? Now let's take this to the global stage. Now we got China, we got North Korea, we got Russia, we got Iran, we got Israel, we got Gaza. Everybody would like their version of the way things unfold to be the right one. And like, you can't tell me that they're not going to take advantage of every little piece of evidence to manipulate the world, consumers, anybody who will watch, to their side. So when it comes to governments, I think they've become too powerful. They're controlling the media in many cases, which is the case in Russia. It's being tried in the United States right now. And there are a lot of other state-run media outlets, and then there are media outlets that are basically influenced by other interest groups, and they're no longer truly objective, and it's probably been like that for a long time. But I think in recent years, even recent months, the technology has come so far that they can present a piece of evidence, whether it be made up or it's real, but they can change the narrative on it to the point where it comes so convincing that it can manipulate the masses. And that, guys, it really worries me. So that's why the spirit of the journey is real. Basically, to me, what it means, and I talked long enough here, but I want to get this point across, is go travel, not for tourism. Destinations are fake. So if you book yourself a trip somewhere in a foreign country, say Israel, you go to Egypt, or you go to like wherever it may be. If you book a trip and you're paying for the full experience and it's all curated for you, you're not escaping this fake narrative. What you need to do is immerse yourself in the culture. Try to learn the language wherever you're going. You're going to Colombia. Try to learn Spanish. You're going to Ukraine. Try to learn Ukrainian. Germany. Try to speak or at least understand some German. And the point is to experience the culture the way the locals do. And I know that's really hard to do, and it requires more time than most of us can even afford. And I think this is also a way to keep North Americans distracted, because we're all at work. In North America, the United States, I understand, is worse than Canada, but even here, once you sign up for a job and you depend on that job for your livelihood, then you don't have the time to travel in a meaningful way. Go somewhere for 2 months rather than a week, because you'll learn a lot more. Go somewhere where the tourists don't go, because you'll learn a lot more. You learn about what makes the locals tick. You make connections for a lifetime that you would otherwise never make. See, you cannot find these people online, but you can connect with them while you're there, and you can make a connection that can continue on online. You can have an exchange online, but the initial connection happens in person. And that is so much more valuable. I mean, you know that you meet somebody in person, you know it's not made up, it's not curated. You can have embarrassments with them, especially if you're not good at the language that you're trying to learn, or things like that. But those are the experiences that are real, guys. And those are the experiences that'll last a lifetime. You will never forget somebody when you met them in their own country, in their own environment, and perhaps they helped you out, or you managed to help them out in a way. That kind of thing, that's what I mean when I say the journey is real. Your journey is not online, guys. I mean, I have enough experience in my life to know that whatever I see online, I have to take it with a grain of salt. It's never the complete story. It's never the complete reality. You can hide things online. You can say the truth, but you don't have to mention the whole truth. So that's what the difference is, guys. Hey, I'll leave it at that. I hope you can respond to my thoughts with your own comments. And I know that even the connection that we make here on my channel, through the comment section, through whatever, it doesn't replace an actual in-person connection. But I can assure you that I'm the real me. I need your thumbs up and I need your comments. And that's it. Take care. See you in the next video.